Joy Paris with Blackbibliomania, and I am here live with the authors of Mr. Paris Makes a Mess. I have with me librarian Paula Webb, as well as Black Ink Coalition publisher, Mr. Willie Dinish. As a special treat, we also have here with us today who the main character was inspired by, Mr. Hosea London. So first and foremost, I want to thank you both all for allowing me to interview you today about this masterpiece. I know when I first met you at the art walk, you were like, what about this, what about, and this one just kind of stuck out to me, probably because it had my name on it, but that's neither here nor there.
Right. Makes a difference.
So to just jump right in, I know you've written many books. What made you two collaborate to write this book?
Okay. Wow. Well, we started working together with Jazz-Fest in 2022. We wanted to figure out a way to bridge the gap between the youth today and the Excelsior Band, and bring them together so that we can get future Excelsior Band members and to expand and grow that project. Well, to make that happen, we were coming out with all kinds of ways: art, music, writing. That's why Jazz-Fest is called what it is, because it's Jazz Arts Writers South. That's why we named that, is because we touch on all of those different fronts. And so Willie is an author, and I'm an author, and I'm great with collaboration. So I said, hey, why don't we try to see if we can make a murder mystery and have the Excelsior Band solve it. And so that's kind of how it got started.
Awesome. So what was the process? How did you, ask this? How did you, what was the process, the writing process for the both of you?
So we were both inspired by Hosea. He's a generous man, and he has this great attitude towards life. He likes to see people do well, see people succeed, and he's very much a teacher and instructor. So those are some of the features and things we wanted to make sure to include in this character. And we had this conversation about being inspired from our meetings with him and creating the Jaws Festival. We're just like, well, we're going to make a character after you. And Paula actually created the character. But I was like, is this okay? Is this the right thing to do? Or would you be okay with that? And he said yes, absolutely. So that's what kind of allowed us to go forward. So Paula created.
I created the name.
The name.
Well, his name is Hosea London. So the Latin is Hosea for Hosea, and then London, Paris.
Just an easy swap.
Right.
So it worked out.
Wonderful. Wow.
So we just wanted Mr. Paris to kind of emulate some of the elements that Mr. Hosea London has, and to kind of bring those into the book, and we thought it would be very inspirational.
Wow. So how was the writing? Did you meet together and write about it, or did you just send each other samples, or how did you, what was the process?
So Paula started it.
Yes. Book writing technology has changed dramatically. Now, this book took us from 22 to this year to get completed.
Okay.
So it took some time because we were trying to develop Jazz-Fest.
Right.
We were trying to develop, we all have jobs here, you know. We love Jazz-Fest, we love doing all this stuff, but it doesn't pay the bills.
Right.
So we were busy with all the other things that we have to do. So it took us time, and we got to that point where we're going to finish this book, and then I got politely persistent.
That's correct.
Yeah, and then also the plus side is that technology developed. So we were able to go from Google Docs, which we were sharing online.
Right.
And then there's a thing called BookBub.
Okay.
No. Is it BookBub? No, it's not.
You use Dabble.
Dabble.
Dabble. Okay.
That's another one I just learned about today. Sorry. So it's all kinds out there.
Okay.
But I transferred everything over to Dabble, which is a writing software.
Okay.
And we were able to complete it in Dabble. And finally, with us not necessarily having to meet, but back and forth, reworking the draft until we got a draft that was complete.
Absolutely. As far as the initial instance of how that happened, Paula developed a prologue. And she approached me with not just the idea, but she already had quite a few elements of the prologue already written. So I was like, oh, this is intriguing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me see what we can do. And so we know we collaborate very well in person.
Right.
And it was kind of our first kind of venture into writing. And so I could see I could pick up very easily on where she was going. And she was always very, very keen on picking up on the things where I was leading into.
Okay.
And so the story just meshed together.
Yeah.
It just came together like, I don't know, like when you're having that dream come true of your great
Right.
collaborative partner, right?
Yeah.
It just really came together.
That's awesome.
And the writing process, we really just wanted to make sure that there was intrigue and that we wanted
And fun.
and fun, and we wanted to kind of to move along. We didn't want people to have stick around in the
Right.
story for
Right.
too long. And of course, as we were discussing it, there was a couple of times where we were like, are we here for too long? Is it good for too long? But ultimately, we knew we were going to meet our goal because we knew what we wanted.
Okay, awesome. So how often did you have to consort with?
That was just a great collaboration between the two of them and me, because when you think about the Excelsior Band,
Right.
everybody knows what the Excelsior Band is about.
Right.
But when you get into like a murder mystery, it's like a whole nother. It took me a while. I'm like, okay, how we gonna do this? Like somebody, so it's amazing because they are writers,
Right.
And I like writers, I like artists, I like all these creative things that I can't do. The things that I do creative are things that I do.
Right.
But I let them do it. It was amazing.
Right.
The book is amazing.
Yeah, it is. I've read, I'm halfway through, so I've gotten through. I'm also reading 2 or 3 other books at the same time.
That's what I was doing.
You get on with it, but you
Well, I wanted to try to, get to know as much as I can before I,
Yeah.
And so, thank you for sharing all of those great pointers, as well as letting me know about some new softwares that I can use for my new book. What is your favorite part of the book, and why? What's a favorite quote or line that's your favorite?
Okay. Well, okay. So you can get inspiration from anywhere. So watching videos, learning stuff anywhere. Well, I'd watch a video of people struggling with a casket some years ago, and I thought, man, it's kind of morbid, but it's also kind of funny. And I was like, well, what if the Excelsior Band was part of the procession? What would they think? How would it go? What would it look like? And so that is what my favorite part is so when it's at the beginning of the book, because when you start a book, you want to start it with something catchy.
Right.
You want to start, you're writing a murder mystery. When you buy the book, you know you're buying a murder mystery. I mean, come on.
Right.
You committed to it when you purchased it.
So that was the hook. That was your hook.
Yeah. So it was like, so my favorite part is them carrying the casket where it's supposed to be. Will they make it?
Okay.
They're trying to get there.
Will they make it? And then the Excelsior Band behind them, seeing what's going on, and going, I don't think they're going to make it. And so they don't. And that is where the casket is dropped. And the beginning of the murder happens is boop, boop, boop.
And that's an ominous,
Yeah.
thing that happened too, like someone dropping the casket. That's
Well,
like,
and that's like the biggest faux pas, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's like the thing that all the pallbearers, when
Right.
they carry, that is the thing. Don't drop it.
Don't
I
drop
bet
it,
you
yes.
every one of them got that running in their heads as they're carrying the
yes,
casket, right?
yes. I do strong, so I won't drop it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Absolutely.
But what if you drop it?
I
Yeah.
know. Oh my gosh.
So peculiarly, that was also like my favorite part. Because we play funerals.
Really?
We play for funerals and everything, and I'm always wondering. One of the pallbearers said, always, get the foot part. That's probably the lightest part.
Uh-huh.
But when you carry that head part, that is like, and I'm always wondering, I'm like, do they have a good grip on me? I've never known it to fall. But you do always kind of wonder, I'm like, it's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've been to some of the churches in Mobile, you going up like a lot of steps to get to.
Ooh, yes.
Mount Olive.
to get up there.
So it's like,
That was
Wow.
good.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Really good. I've got a couple favorite parts. My first favorite part is when Hosea gets to Everett's house.
Oh,
And that's, of course, the section that I read in the book launch. Because although when you're dealing with friends, you don't necessarily know exactly how they're living. And in that part of the story, he could really get like a really good idea of how
Right.
this guy is living. Although he sees him every day, he deals with him every day, but he doesn't deal with him on this level every day. So
Right.
it was like an encounter. Like we were like, now how is this possible? Like, how would I not know this about this
Right.
person? So just like the overall surprise in that, I thought that was really good. I thought it was great development of both Hosea's character and Everett's character, so that the readers can kind of relate a little bit better with that. And then my other favorite part is, of course, at the end. So it was going back to the development of the story, when Paula and I were talking about where is this story going, we knew we wanted to kind of be like twist, murder solves, twist, jackpot.
Right.
So we were just kind of like, okay, so how do we carry this off? And so I knew what we wanted to do there. So writing it was like, okay, so I'm seeing like we're having a lot of like taking deep breaths, like I really wanted to have people on the edge of their seat. And I've had a few people that have told me, like, I was literally like leaning over in the seat trying to get it all in,
Yeah.
because they were just really, really surprised. And then that relief in that last chapter, just how things just kind of just lift and on that higher note, to kind of really bring the story to a great conclusion. So those are my couple of favorite parts.
Okay, awesome. So, what are you hoping? So, for me, I would not pick up a murder mystery. Like, it would not be my first. What are you hoping that this book will reel individuals in, and how will it reel them in to like murder mysteries or to like mystery, that whole genre? What are you hoping to?
well, first off, it's more of a cozy.
Mhm.
So it's more of a book where you have fun discovering, and that's part of it. It's like jazz and art, and these are things that, you've got this world where everybody's just boom, boom, boom in a box. Well, you got to get outside the box.
Right.
You got to stretch, you got to learn, you got to grow, right? We talked about that earlier.
Yes.
You got to see things differently. Well, why not a murder mystery?
Right.
You
Right.
ask me why, well, why not?
Right.
Why not? And then it's a popular format, so it's going to entice people to go, who is this Excelsior Band? A whole
Right,
new audience
right,
that they have
right.
never had an opportunity to meet before. Or chance, it's opening doors that may have been closed or nobody's never been exposed to before.
Right.
And it's creating more opportunities.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that point as well, that you're making a connection with the Excelsior Band that you would not have ever have come up with on your own.
Right.
When I was thinking about it initially, and I was like, Paula's really picked up on something, but like it's very much a genius kind of move.
Yeah.
To be able to get this in the places that we hope to get into, and to be able to share that experience of how we learn about the Excelsior Band, and to really integrate that into a storytelling mode.
Right.
It's just really unexpected, very unexpected.
Right. And so, Mr. Paris Makes a Mess is a murder mystery. I know I mentioned before that I mostly read historical fictions or romance, if you will. What is your stance on the emerging genre of mystery, and what is the benefit of reading mystery versus wanting to escape into romance or wanting to read a fairy tale, if you will?
everybody's seeking an escape.
Mhm.
Okay, you're reading, you're either reading for information, you're
Mhm.
reading to learn something, or you are tired of that and want to read something a little different.
Mhm.
Well, there's such a plethora of romance out there,
Mhm.
which is not a problem with there being. I'm working on a romance novel now, I'm working on a rom-com now, so there's nothing wrong with that. That's a strong field.
Mhm.
However, romance has a simple beginning and conclusion. You know where it's going to go. You kind of have a feeling you're already familiar with. You're familiar with that. But with murder mysteries, it gives you a chance to use your brain, to think, to plot, to create. It gives you a chance yourself to go, well, what would happen if this happened instead? Or
Right.
it gets that seek and find that we all like have intuitively
Right.
in our bodies. It solves that, but in a good way, in
Right.
a fun way.
For me, I really started out as a sci-fi writer because my father was a
Okay.
sci-fi writer.
Wow,
so,
awesome.
so our first book was a sci-fi mystery.
Okay.
It's kind of a tangled little thing, but to unravel from that and do it more like a cozy mystery, what my thinking about it was, let's give a little bit of intrigue. Let's give people a feeling of, I'm not so sure where this is going. What pocket is this going to go in? In my mind, am I going to go through? With sci-fi, you get a lot of the same. It's a crazy introduction. There's a battle, and then and then you have all those genuine characters, and you're creating a saga, et cetera, et cetera. And you're looking maybe over lengths of time where people are developing things. With a mystery, you're going to have some finite time to it, but
Right.
you're going to go on this journey that's overall unexpected.
Right.
Overall unexpected. And so for me, I laugh because that's those type of things that kind of tickle my soul.
Right.
Like oh, I love this. This is unexpected. So that's what I think is really great about mystery. I think it just kind of sends you on a different way. You kind of get to go to different points and different pockets of your mind and just kind of find things that are, opportunities to explore. I think exploration is a wonderful thing. Absolutely wonderful.
Right. Wow. Awesome. What has been the benefits of self-publishing or having a boutique publishing company?
Wow. Okay. So as a self-publisher, as a self-published author, that journey for me was about where can I go? If I'm going on my own, where can I go? Where would I want to go? And how would I then develop that opportunity for myself or for other people that I'm working with? I'm always looking to build great partnerships. Like when Paula and I met, we just had a great conversation. We established a partnership right away. We knew that there were things that we had in common to do. And that's kind of how I feel about that journey as a self-published author. You're not necessarily depending upon a market to build for you. You're going out to build your own market. And you're going out to make friends with those bookstores and those locations and those cities and other places that you have friends and you enjoy. And it's not just the pass-through experience. It is a lifetime experience.
Right.
And that's really what as a self-published author, which I'm looking to build, looking to show.
Right.
As a person that publishes, I'm looking to really encourage authors to learn, continue to learn. Once you wrote that book, it's not the end of the story.
Right.
And that's so much of what happens when we're dealing with people in the world of authorship. And I know my friend Paula, she's definitely not in that boat. But when you have people that are willing to grow and stretch and learn more, I mean, you see that opportunities are not locked in.
Right.
You're not locked into just one mode of thinking. And so that's what being the publisher is about. It's
Right.
about, okay, so if I coach you to go out and have this conversation with somebody that you're not familiar with, then you've gained something from it.
Right.
If I coach you to go and try this marketing tool, then now you have another asset. Whether it went well or not,
Right.
now you have another asset that you can basically have in your back pocket to walk around with.
Right.
And if I coach you from the beginning of your book until the end, and now we have a finished product, you've learned that journey of true authorship. And I've helped you, I've held your hand a little bit, but you've done it on your own.
Right.
And that's really what's the most valuable piece is, as a self-publishing coach / publisher is really very
Okay,
valuable for me.
wonderful. Did you want to add?
I publish a little differently, and so that's the other thing. I have not published with Black Lit Coalition until this book. I published elsewhere and got a lot of experience with other places. I'm more leaning toward, I had big publishers, and I have learned over time that it's kind of better to be an indie.
Okay.
And to guide your own ship. Let the other people guide your ship if they can bring benefit to you and help you. But if they can't, then cut yourself free.
Right.
That's the thing.
One of the, so as a bookstagrammer and a book talker, you know, they do challenges or things that are popular. And so one of the things that's popular right now that people are posting about is bookish propaganda that I won't give into or I won't tolerate. And one of the top things is that indie authors are just as good as an author who's backed by a big five.
Right.
They talk about how, you know, a lot of the indie authors, they can outright your top five. They have better books than your top five.
Yes.
And so I love the fact that everyone, you know, even though, hey, we're hanging out at the bookstore, we're still leaving that space open to support our indie authors and so forth. And I think that is very important because if you don't support them, how will they ever make it to, you know, the pinnacle? How will their stories get out if you don't read and talk about them and review them and just, you know, all the things and support them? So I just think that's awesome. All right, so explain to me your marketing process. How have you promoted yourself and the book and this project? I did see what you did a lunch, and I thought that was awesome.
Yes. So we are doing some different things. My commitment to this project is pretty heavy. I'm also in another work opportunity, so it's just like we talked about before. You still have a day job. So in my day job, I'm working to kind of work across promoting. But the main thing that we wanted to do was approach this and connect this to as much jazz as we possibly could. So this book launched on March 14th, 2025.
Okay.
Excuse me, it was published on March 14th, 2025, which was Quincy Jones' birthday.
Oh.
And we wanted to kind of let this be a connection with trumpet players and jazz musicians and other things. I said we don't want to publish this on a random date. So this book has been available since March to be able to get people to collect it, read it, and know about our book launch. And so our book launch we connected into our Jazz Festival, which was on May 29th of this year. And at the book launch, we wanted to do several things, which was to share with the audience about how the book came about, how did we do this thing that just seems like an amazing collaboration, like I said, very surprising collaboration. And then we also wanted to honor the Excelsior Band because they were heavily featured in the book, of course, with Hosea being the inspiration for the main character. So each of the member of the Excelsior Band was given their own personal hard copy as a gift. They were gifted a copy.
Wow.
So now we have 10 of those copies walking around. And so each member of the Excelsior Band can actually say, "This is my copy. I'm in this book. You need to read this book." So I think it's one of our most valuable marketing tools that we have, because we have the band that's bought into this project as well, not only as participants, but they've been honored with their own official copy. And it was something that we decided that we wanted to do because, of course, the time it took to get us there, but because of our labor of love. And it was very, very important to be able to create that opportunity. The other thing is that we are looking to build some tour. We're basically I'm going very slowly to build tour partly because of my day job, but because we want to be in places where we know we're going to be getting a great response. And we want to make sure that we invite the community to come out and experience this on multiple levels. So we have some things that are on the calendar. We have a couple of events coming up in May. We have a couple things we've planned. I'm sorry, May. I do it all the time. July. a couple of events on the calendar for July. May is the festival
May is
month, so everything is like contingent upon May. But we have some things that look scheduled for July. There it is. And we have some things we're putting together for September. And then we'll be doing some other integrations with Excelsior Band for November toward the end of the year.
Okay.
So we're going to take our time with getting this marketed as well as we possibly can.
Wow.
Now, places online that you can get it, we publish with Drafted Digital.
Okay.
And so Drafted Digital allows us to be in basically all online platforms. So that's Smashwords all the way through Biblioteca.
Okay.
And that does include the library system. That includes Hoopla, so people can download it and get access to it right away. We're on all
Wow.
platforms now.
Wow.
We initially published hardback and paperback copies through Amazon, so people can, of course, get that on Amazon.
Okay.
And they can get one day shipping on that
Okay.
if they need it, and that's a really great opportunity. And I'm also looking for new places to put it. And we actually just got published. I think everything's approved for Google Books.
Oh,
So you're going to
wow.
be seeing this
Okay.
on Google very soon. And I'm always looking for new places online to put us where people can actually give us reviews, and we can actually do some things to promote things. My favorite thing to do, and Paula knows this to be the case from the festival, is to give things away.
Okay.
If we're asking for people to participate in enjoying something, we want to give something away. We want to always be giving back. And that's just kind of my community disposition, to always say, if you enjoyed this, we want to give something back to you. So we have some things in our back pocket that we're going to keep.
Right.
There's some plans that we're working through, but we want to make sure that people come out and enjoy this project as much as possible.
In addition, though, if you purchase the print copies from either one of us, 20% of those sales go towards Jaws Fest.
Okay. Awesome.
So that's
Yeah.
something to know, that you can get it at Amazon, you can get all these other places, which we encourage you to do. But to help Jaws Fest grow, if you purchase from us, you get 20%. 20% always goes
Wow.
towards
That is awesome.
And we're happy to autograph. We'll autograph it for you.
Okay.
We
And
can get copies passed around for
But
the Excelsior Band.
interesting enough, when you gave this book to the Excelsior Band, right? So I know somebody like in Michigan,
Yes.
purchased the book. You got 12 people who most of their relatives don't live in Mobile.
Right.
So that was like a really, because they're proud to be in a book.
Anyway associated with that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's
So
just
so
a
that
great
was
opportunity.
great. That was they love that, and their cousins and uncles and
Yes.
dads and all that. They like it too. So that was you'll get feedback.
Absolutely.
Right.
In
Absolutely.
addition, as an author, you never know what she'll do. I designed the cover.
She
Really?
did,
Yeah,
yes.
so-
Wow.
Did you?
Yeah.
She designed the cover.
I
Yes.
love the cover.
And
Yeah,
she said
thank
in
you.
one email, she says, I finished the cover. And I'm like, okay, let's look. And this is approved. This is
And
absolutely
it's Mardi
approved.
Gras colors.
Right. Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
casket.
Yes.
Yeah.
You notice it's all Mardi Gras colors.
It is. Yeah. I did notice. Wow.
It was strategic. It was
Okay.
very well planned.
Here in Mobile, Alabama, we love Mardi Gras.
Oh,
Anything
yes,
we
indeed.
can
Yes.
incorporate Mardi Gras in some type
What's
of
the
way.
next book gonna have?
The next book is
What do you think?
going, it's going to have some elements in it. Now, this is the first book in a series. We have planned for 3.
Okay.
And so,
Wow.
so it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
We're very, very excited about that as well. So there's the first book, Mr. Paris Makes a Mess, which is of course him getting into this situation. And then the second book is called Mr. Paris and the Hurricane Bride.
Okay.
And that's going to be more of a heart tug. You're going to get some heart tug there, but it will be a great journey. It'll be a great, fantastic journey. And then the last one will be, the last planned one is Mr. Paris and the Ladies of Jazz.
Okay.
And in that one, which we structured it, but it's not written yet, it's not drafted yet.
Okay.
And I'm happy to share is that Mr. Paris will go to Paris.
Oh,
And
okay.
he'll actually, him and his wife will kind of get caught in some intrigue there.
Okay.
And that will lead them on a venture a major part of the world. So
Oh my God,
it's
that
going-
is so cool.
So
Oh,
it's your opportunity to
wow.
go to Paris and take pictures, so we have
Right.
something to do cover with.
Yes, and I found out.
That's interesting because we're going to July the 3rd, we're going to London, then we're going to Paris.
Oh, awesome. Taking pictures.
Yes.
And we end up in Rotterdam for the North
wow.
Sea Jazz Festival.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this will be our first time going to Paris.
Yes.
I will get.
Okay.
I'll get
So we got to have a good,
I
great
need-
conversation after
Right.
that. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
I
to
need
that.
some pics.
Yes. Yes. Wow, that is awesome.
And when you had the casket on there, now I don't know when the last time you've been to like a black film.
Oh,
But now
well, honestly,
everybody.
Saturday.
Wow.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of them are now stepping. You know, they're not just carrying their casket. They're actually, kind of doing like a real
Yeah.
march with that casket. So that was, I'm like, you need to have a firm hold. on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Places you can get the book, of course, our great friend Mobile Bookseller.
Okay.
There's copies there. We'll be going to the Foley Book Exchange, and we'll
Okay.
also be going to the Haunted Bookshop to get
Okay.
copies available in there. We do love local bookstores, so if you are a local bookstore and you would like to have a copy of Mr. Paris Makes a Mess, please feel free to reach out. We'll give Paris our contact information to be able to contact us about the opportunity. So we are very, very happy to be in a local bookstore. Very, very happy.
Wonderful, wonderful. Also, guys, I bought one copy and then they gifted me with the copy. And guess what? I'm going to gift it on a giveaway. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to be announcing the giveaway, and it's going to be one of the books that I'm going to give away, and it's going to be signed by both authors. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And Hosea London. I mean, that is a once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah.
Having Hosea London's autograph.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
But I thank you all for having me and allowing me to interview you. This has been a momentous occasion for me.
Wonderful.
You know, I'm just getting into this, and this is what feeds me. You know, just being able to connect with authors who have a passion,
Right.
you know, who have a passion for storytelling, and just giving a piece of community,
Right.
to the culture. So I just want to thank you both.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
right.
This has been great.
And so you can follow me at Blackbibliomania on YouTube, on TikTok, as well as Instagram, and tell them where they can connect with you guys.
Sure. So I'm representing the Jazz Fest, which is Jazz Art Writers South Festival, and we are at jazzfestival.com. And then as a publisher, I am with the Black Ink Coalition. Our website is theblackinkcoalition.com. You can get information about our projects there, and I'm very happy to talk with anyone that has curiosity about learning about what we do.
I'm a librarian at the University of South Alabama. I'm outreach and communications librarian. You can reach me at pwebb, W-E-B-B, at southalabama.edu. And in addition, I'm an author at another venue, and my website is plwebb, that's plwebb.com. You can visit me there to get more information or to look up the other things I write.
How to contact me?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can just Google Excelsior Band.
It's gonna pop right
That's all
up.
you
You just Google Excelsior Band. My name will come up.
Right.
I'm very easy to find.
There you go.
Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you go out and get Mr. Paris Makes a Mess.
Okay.